So yeah, and then it continued. It was a great success with you.
Yeah.
And then yeah, just semesters later, we finally met and we finally became
Yeah.
friends. And
I remember like
Yeah.
you have such a unique presence.
oh my
around-
god, oh my god, I need
Yeah.
some water.
So, of course. So like I think I've seen you around uni like before during like 2019, and I've seen you during also like the bridge band event where when we were
I was
dancing.
going crazy with that one.
I would put clips of what we did during that day.
Please do.
Yeah,
Please
I would
do.
because like it was also shot by our like great photographer
Yes.
Ridha, and like the way that have you seen the video?
No.
No. So it starts as like Shiko, my friend who also been on the podcast.
Yeah.
He requested a song from like the band, the bridge band, amazing like
Yes.
performance.
Yeah. Yeah.
So he requested Highway to Hell.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah,
Way
way to
the
hell.
hell. Yeah.
So Ridha
Mm.
actually started filming him as soon as he got from his seat and he's walking to the stage. It's not
I
the
remember
stage,
that,
it's,
yeah.
it's the stairs.
Yeah.
So like he went there and he started dancing like
Yes. Yes.
with the
Yes.
song, and then like as the song reached its peak
Yes.
with like the drums and everything,
Yeah. Yeah.
and as soon as they say Highway to Hell,
Yeah.
he jumped
Oh.
from like 3-4
I
stairs.
know.
yeah.
I know. Yeah.
And he started dancing like on the ground now.
Yes.
So I said, man, this is
Can I
your
leave him alone?
yeah, he's your friend.
Let's
Okay,
go.
you are a good. So then I went there.
Yeah.
Yeah, and like I was dancing with him as
Yes.
well. And
Yeah.
then like my friends started coming, like Mortaja, Abdullah, many people started joining
Yeah.
now. And now we're like this group of 5-6 people
Yes.
dancing on the stairs.
Yes.
And like Highway to Hell
I
is
know.
playing.
I know.
And we would do, oh my God.
Yeah, I know.
But-
know. And then there was me dancing all alone on my corner.
You can see it in the video as
yeah,
well.
yeah. And then I slowly come and join you guys. Like, this is my group. Let's go. It was only us.
This is
dancing.
how it started.
I know. Yes. Just through
Yeah.
Highway to Hell.
Man, as I said, like fall 2021 was like the wild days.
It was.
Yeah.
It was great.
It was so much fun. Like,
Yeah.
I remember so many good days back then.
Yeah.
But now this is like real life.
Yes.
This is slow, boring. Like
This is the most
yeah,
adventurous
yeah,
thing
yeah,
that we're doing
yeah, yeah.
right now.
Talking,
Sit down,
yes.
talking. That's it. Like nothing dangerous. Like that's it.
no more taking risks.
No. No jumping from stage. No nothing.
Yeah, but like it was really fun. So I started my question. We need to circle back a bit. So you got to managing the club after like Jultiar, right?
Jutiar, yes.
Jultiar, yeah.
Mm.
And like, so did you plan it out in advance, or it was like spur of the moment thing? So to run the
Good
club?
question.
Yeah.
I was sitting at the office, student service office.
Yeah.
Back then, it was Mina. She was in Lavin's position.
Distance, yeah.
Yeah, but I don't think you guys met Mina.
I don't think so. No.
Yeah. She was amazing. Like again, she and Lavin, like amazing people who've been working at student
Yeah.
service, like just keeping the university together, like the student body of the university. Honestly,
Yeah.
they're amazing people. And so yeah, and then we sat there, and I think that the news got out that that the movie club does not have a president anymore or somebody to run it.
Yeah.
And I was just sitting there, and I looked at her. I was like, "Oh, can I do it?" And then she was like, "Can you do it?" I was like, "Yeah, of course." I mean, like,
Yeah.
it's basically doing nothing. Like, just play, you just play the movie. That's it. Just hit play. That's it.
Yeah.
And then she was like, "Okay, let's do it." And like, and then she was the advisor of the
club.
club.
Mm.
But then because yeah. So like I never got into because because we knew each other because of like my volunteering work with the student service. I think I had like around 300 400 hours
In
of
total?
Yeah.
Wow,
Yeah.
That's
volunteering.
amazing. Yeah. That's
Yeah.
3 diamond awards.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. And I never recorded anything actually.
Really?
Yeah.
You didn't get any certificates or
I
anything?
never recorded.
Man, I'm
anything.
always taking
Mm.
certificates. Yeah.
Collect them.
Collecting them, keeping them
Yes,
for the
yes.
CV. Yeah.
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 And then so yeah, I mean, like it was it went really smooth. It went really well.
Yeah.
We loved it. Like, and she trusted me with the club, as the advisor. And then after her, I believe it was Mr. Matt from
Mhm.
APP. I don't know if
Yeah,
you
yeah, I know
remember
Mr. Matt,
him.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I don't
Was
think
he
he's-
running student services for a while, or what?
No, no, no.
He was the advisor for the club.
Yeah, he was the advisor for
Okay,
the
okay,
club.
okay.
Yes. But I think there's two two Mr. Matts. So
Mm.
like the one that I'm talking about,
The
he
APP
is
instructor, right?
both APP.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, yeah. But one of them is like is very tall and like very skinny and
Yeah.
like he has like a. But anyways,
Yeah,
so
okay.
there's
Yeah,
that one.
Dr. Professor Matt, yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, he was the advisor. He was like, yeah. I went to him. I was like, yo, like because back then, when I was volunteering, sometimes we had a big group of new instructors just coming in,
Mm-hmm.
flying in.
Yeah.
And then we would take them around the city. As a city born and raised guy. So
yeah.
they were choosing me to show them around.
Yeah.
So yeah, that group of teachers. That time, it was amazing. I met two great people there. Like we became friends with them, and like one of them was Mr. Matt. Yeah, and then like while later he became like our club advisor.
Yeah.
Until he left. So
Okay.
yes.
So this is like 2018.
No, yeah. So yeah, 2018, Mina was the advisor. By 2019,
it was Mr. Matt.
It was Mr. Matt.
Yeah.
Yes.
And you did the weekly events, you did the planning and everything.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mm.
It was basically only, there was like other vice president. I was just calling myself the runner. Like
Yeah.
I was like running the club. I
Yeah.
hate it.
The president.
I hate that thing.
Yeah.
Hierarchy.
Yeah.
Destroy.
Talk about yourself. Yeah.
Destroy hierarchies.
Talk about yourself, man. Yeah.
And so yeah, and then they're like, so I did the whole thing.
Yeah.
But yes, but we chose Wednesdays because I was always thinking like on Thursdays. From like my background, I go party on Thursdays, so
Yeah.
I should know
That's our biggest issue right now.
exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I had it on
Partying
Wednesdays.
students. Yeah.
Partying students. Yes. Partying student. Destroying all the plans.
Yeah.
But then Wednesday was a problem for APP students because usually on Thursdays they have, I don't know if it is still the same system,
Yeah.
but on Thursdays they have exams.
Mm.
So Wednesday night they had to study.
That's why I put the club. Like it was either putting it midweek to have like maybe attract more students, or
Yeah.
putting it at the end of the week where most students at AOS are free.
Yeah.
And like I know it doesn't go well with like Thursday plans because I too, as an individual, I want to enjoy Thursday.
True.
So, but like this is how I.
But
put
it's
in mind.
going well.
Yeah,
I
it's
mean,
going well. Like because like we finished the event now this semester, thankfully, because I have earlier classes than last semester. So we
Yes.
finished the event at 7 something.
You
So
still
you
have
still
time to
have
hang
to
out. Exactly.
till 11. Like you
Yeah.
have what 4 hours, something like
Yeah.
this to enjoy that.
But like I think also like the student body at AWAS, it kind of changed.
Mm.
Like it is not as party oriented anymore.
No, no,
like,
it
as
is.
it used to.
It is.
I mean, like,
But like the
yeah.
people who are partying, like I don't think they are as much as used to, because like now
Mm.
you have a wider range of people, and like a huge slice of that people are
Yeah.
restricted, like religious people who.
True.
Yeah.
True.
So that's why I think like the total count of like
Yeah.
party students, they are
But like
lesser than it used to.
back in the
But it
days
still exists.
when we were going to the to these bars, back when I was still
Yeah.
drinking and all that stuff.
Yeah.
So we would go inside, and then it was only AWAS students, like the whole bar. Like there was like nobody else. But right now, like I personally don't see that, but maybe because I don't.
You don't
go-
know the new students, yeah.
Yeah, maybe I don't know them, but at the same time, like I don't go, to bars,
Yeah.
I don't need,
Yeah.
like, I don't drink anymore, so
Yeah.
like there's no use to go there.
Okay.
Plus it is always too smoky for me. I hate cigarettes.
Yeah, because of it's haram, yani,
Of course, yeah. It's because haram.
Yeah,
Yeah,
of
that's
course,
why.
yeah,
Yeah,
of course.
yeah. Not because I got bored because of drinking so much.
Yeah, let's say it's haram, يعني
Yeah,
ويتكدر
yeah,
أشياء.
yeah. Two birds, one stone.
Yeah,
like, yes, yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, okay. I like. Well, I'm glad, to see that, the party mindset is still,
Yeah.
is still
Yeah,
strong.
it's still going, but
Mm.
like, I think the people who are partying at iOS aren't the majority now.
I see.
That's what I think. Yani, I don't know. I don't have the numbers. I haven't done the
I
research.
see. Well, I mean, so going to bars to drink and like going to parties is, I mean, let's separate those two things.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
let's say, uh, so the party, it was always minority, the people
Mm.
who were going to parties, but the bar, that was always the majority.
Yeah.
So everybody, from upstairs, downstairs, cafeteria, like how it's kind of divided. I don't think the divide exists anymore. But back
Yeah.
in the days, it was very
It's,
very
I think now it's by
segregated.
balconies. Like.
Oh,
Yeah,
really?
Yeah, I think it's by
So
balconies.
for us back when I was still here, I mean, for a while it was just like people downstairs, they would just not sit upstairs at all,
Really?
and like people upstairs, if they would sit downstairs, like everybody would give them looks like come back up. So you are offending us, like So upstairs it was too open
Yeah.
minded,
Yeah.
like I'm not
Let's
gonna
say
say
like they are driving to the left highway.
yeah, liberals.
Liberals.
I mean,
No,
I wish it was
driving
lefties.
to the
I mean,
left
like
way.
I wish
Yeah.
there was like nothing going like that. It was just like just like liberals.
They're just driving. Okay.
They
No,
just drive.
no,
Yeah. And then downstairs it was more culturally oriented. People. More traditional. I would
Mhm.
say.
So they are writing right way.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
driving
would say
right way.
I would say so too.
Yeah.
Yeah, but not that right. Just like culturally conservative.
Yeah.
I
Okay.
would say yeah.
Okay.
Not
Extreme
No,
conservatives.
not at all.
Okay,
Not at
okay.
all. Yeah. I mean, like, there's only like few individuals, I
Yeah.
would say, but like not at all. But still, both of these, spectrums, they will go drink. Like,
Mhm.
like the drinking culture here,
It's
like,
what
is
like
very strong.
combine everyone.
Exactly. Yeah. Like you go there and then you see everybody from all the, segments.
Yeah,
or,
and
like,
I've seen this as well. Like, I have friends who don't drink, but like, the funnest sit downs and hangouts are around people who drink.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yes.
like when people get tipsy,
Yeah.
it's fun.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah. They open up and
yeah,
like,
they
start,
open up and like you don't see the perfect image anymore. You start to
Yeah.
seeing
Like
the real,
more relaxed.
yeah, more relaxed.
This is me, guys.
Yeah, you take it or leave it.
I was lying to you this whole day. Like, let me tell you who I am. Like,
Yeah,
I'm a
this
nobody.
is everything. This is my life story. This is my all my issues and
Yes.
everything. Yeah,
Yes.
yeah. So like even people who don't drink, they would like you go out on such hangouts because they are fun.
Yes.
Like
Exactly. Yes.
it's either this or like hanging at traditional domina places. Yeah. So
Yes.
most people would choose this. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah. So for me, like we talked about, like how the club started with you, but for me, it's
Yeah.
a completely different story.
Okay.
I've heard about clubs, like I know about clubs since like I became at AOS in 2019, and like I signed for the movies club back then, but like since we got back to home after 3 weeks, like nothing.
There was
like,
nothing.
Yeah, there was nothing.
at all.
So coming into fall 2021, I had a mic and like everything, and I wanted to start the podcast
Yes.
like during fall 2021. But I said like I don't know anyone at uni,
Yeah.
and like the issue is with podcast, and especially like you are
need people.
you
Yes.
need people to talk to.
Yeah.
So
that was sad. Like, you need people to talk to.
yeah, like you can't just talk in front of the camera all
Yeah.
alone for hours unless you have something really interesting to say. So I said, okay, let me start a club about the thing that I love the most, which is I don't know if you can tell or not. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Not really. Like,
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
still thinking.
Yeah,
you
yeah,
know,
okay.
Trying to connect the dots. Yeah.
yeah. So I said okay, and all of this is like a couple of days before like the semester began. I'm still
Ah.
contemplating what should I start first, like because I want
Nice.
to do all of these things.
Nice.
I enjoy doing them. So I said, okay, let me go with the club first. I think it's either I would meet people in real life sooner, and like I need to meet a lot of people.
Yeah.
I've been like deprived of this
Of this gift
of this gift
socialization.
of socialization. Yeah. So during a club day, so club day is on Sunday.
Yeah.
So during club day, I also like was talking about my friend who started like the book club. Like one I had on the
Yeah,
podcast
yeah.
with Murtaja
Yes.
in spring 2021, and so to know like what's the process of starting. She said like just get an advisor, and as someone who would support you, like follow the form, and that's it. And I told her, can I do it like tomorrow during during a club
The
day?
club is okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
It was club day. Like all of this,
Yeah.
the video I have seen is during club day.
Yeah.
So I went in the morning. I like all the instructors that I knew back in the day from 2019 are
Yeah.
out of iOS.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
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 True.
So I said, okay, what's the closest relationship that I had with an instructor during the semester? And it was
Yeah.
English 102.
Yeah.
So it was Miss Elizabeth, who I had on the podcast as well.
Oh,
Yeah.
I see. I see. I see.
So I get the form. I go to Miss Liz, and like I told her like I want to start the club. It's urgent. Like people are already organizing and starting club day. This is like 9:30 in the
Yes.
morning.
Yeah.
I get the form, I get her signature, and she tells me to go to student services, go to Lawan, ask him for like the signature, and if he says like, what about like the existing movies club, tell them that Miss Liz like said it's like you can do it, like even though,
Okay.
like,
Okay. I see. I see.
yeah. So I get the form. Now it's approved. Mr. Lawan told me to like go get a table and like do your thing.
Yeah. Nice.
I swear to you, Zheera, like in half an hour, like I organized the whole table that you have
Wow.
seen. I had some help later, like with my friends who were like coming after classes and between classes and everything.
Yeah.
But yeah, in half an hour, like I got all my posters, all my movies, all like the figures that I have. I put them in like my traveling suitcase.
Yes.
And I get down there. I put everything, arrange it to the
Oh,
wall.
nice.
Yeah. And I did all that in half an hour. So like till this day, it's such a nice.
It's a very special thing.
And the thing is, like, I have the first notebook that I recorded all the names.
Oh, the
into.
names. Yeah, I know.
And during the first day, like, we got 100 and something students. Like, by now we have like more than 300 members in the club. Yeah. But yeah, the club is going. It's I enjoy, like, it's now a part of my routine. Like, if there is something that I can't have, I can't do, or a meeting for, I feel something is missing.
Oh yeah. I know.
And like it's on Thursday, I finish classes, I go there, I watch a movie. And I think it all started because of like how the way that I've been living my life during the past few years. Because like back home, we would like on daily basis, if we don't have anything and it's like weekends or like it's a break or anything, we would like play a movie and watch. Me, my dad, my mom, like my siblings and everything. So when I got here, okay, I need to replace this.
Yeah.
So now instead of like my parents, now it's AOI students.
Yes.
Yeah. So it's nice. Like I enjoy it. I've done it, and I will keep doing it until my
the
last
end of times.
my last remaining days. Okay. We've been talking for so long now. It's an hour or 20.
I see.
Favorite movie?
Favorite movie. Difficult question.
Okay.
I'm gonna give you two.
Okay.
The mainstream one, Pirates of the Caribbean.
Okay.
The non-mainstream one, Bad Boy Bobby.
I haven't heard of that one.
Oh, but it's very, very weird.
Weird? Okay.
Yes.
Bad Boy Bobby?
Bad Boy Bobby.
Okay. Why do you have like two?
Because
depend on what hangout you are spending your time with.
What
balcony people are you hanging?
I see. No, you see.
If I'm downstairs, I'm going with Pirates of
this
the Caribbean.
Yeah.
If I'm upstairs, I'm going.
I think that's the thing. I think when I'm around people who are not that much into movies, I just say Bad Boy Bobby, and they're like what is this thing? Like what is this movie? And then, like, when I'm around people who are really into movies, they're expecting me to say something very
profound and empty.
Exactly. I'm like, Pirates of the Caribbean, like, Disney movie, like, it's produced by Disney, So, but again, I mean, I love the Pirates of the Caribbean. I mean, I grew up, watching it. Now it's a bit difficult to watch it because of, the whole, like the whole because of that guy.
Why? Like,
But anyways,
do you believe that he's guilty of all of
yes,
this? Really?
yes,
And like, do you think the media portrayed Amber as like the villain? Because I think she's the
yes.
villain. Yeah,
No.
I think she's the villain.
Well,
I love Johnny more, man.
no.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm like I didn't even know who exactly Amber Heard was.
Yeah.
I mean, I knew who Johnny Depp was, of
Yeah.
course, but I don't follow, like their own personal lives,
Mhm.
basically. I mean, like this was the same thing with Marilyn Manson. I mean, like I
Yeah.
uh,
You love the guy.
yeah, very much. But again, I mean, like like mistakes. He has done mistakes.
Yeah,
And like
mistakes. Of course. Yeah, there are mistakes. What mistakes? He was like, he was
Yeah, no,
beating people.
I know. I mean, like that's and like and again, like so, like there are people in like who are like still like his fan base, is still defending him, and I
Yeah.
was like very hardcore, Marilyn Manson fan.
Yeah.
But like once that you see like what type of person he is, like you are not as much as interested in his personal life,
Yeah.
but you wish that you would not do that for the art, because I mean like his music is not just his music. I mean like this is like a whole team of production who put this piece of art out.
Yeah.
And then it is very independent from what the person is. But again, I mean, like personally, it is still just so difficult for me, like to listen to it and not think about the victims.
Yeah.
So I feel a bit, not bit, but like I do feel, I don't enjoy it. I cannot. Yeah. So sometimes that how art just takes you away.
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't take me away. I
Mm.
cannot, just get lost in the art. There's something else that is going on in my mind.
Yeah.
I mean, like there's that, but there's also like the whole system that is not putting these people into like where they're supposed to be.
Yeah.
Like whether it's present or like being accountable
Yeah, but
for
like,
who they are, or
I've
what they
also
have done. Yeah.
I've also like experienced similar thing with Kevin Spacey during
Oh, yeah.
like 2018 or 19 when has like scandal starting like
Yes.
putting up.
Yes.
But here is the thing, like now it's really difficult to distinguish between what really happened or just like people who are trying to get some fame or money or anything. So like I know like this is what horrible people would say, but like sometimes it's I don't want to rush into conclusions right away because
get
like
you.
right now I think he was cleared from all allegations and everything like for Spacey. I don't know about Manson yet, but like from 2018 till the days that he got cleared like from allegation and everything, he he got cancelled from like House of Cards.
Of course,
And
yeah.
all of this happened because like the allegations that were thrown into him. And it's really weird to see like an actor that's that popular. And I mean he did Seven. He did American Beauty. Like I have American Beauty here.
Yeah.
It's an amazing movie.
Yeah.
He did so many great movies. Glenn Glory Ross, I think, is the other one. And like finally, he like House of Cards is the first big Netflix TV show. Like it's the TV show that got Netflix to what Netflix it is today. So to see an actor who's like that popular, that big, get down that quickly because of the allegations that he got, it's concerning. Like you have to be really careful about what to say, what you do, like around everyone. That's
Of course.
yeah.
I mean, like you should. I mean, that's the very thing. I
Yeah,
mean, like
you
people
should.
should, not do those things.
But like,
to anyone.
what do you think is the best approach to deal with this thing? Like, because like nowadays, when as soon as like some allegations pile up against someone, they are just cancelled from everything.
Look. So the problem with canceling is that it is like armed revolution. So like when people are struggling against a system, I mean like starting like guerrilla warfare right away, like that's not your first option. That's the last resort, as when you cannot live under this system anymore. So for cancel culture, it is the same. I see it as the same thing as the last resort for the victims and like for the oppressed people to have a voice and like to do something. Is that okay? I will as a vigilante, I will cancel you from my side, and then like my friend will do it, and then like everybody else will do it.
Yeah.
So I mean, if you, I mean, there are like so many names, so many people, and like the data and everything that we have, we know like it is just crazy how much women are being oppressed,
Yes.
whether
And by
abused
the way, you get my point.
yeah,
Like,
yeah, of course.
for like for what happened with Harvey Weinstein, for example.
Yes,
Like
yeah.
that.
Bill
That's
Cosby, or like
Bill
those guys.
Cosby,
Yeah.
and like these are things that like this is how it should be done
Yes.
for these.
Yeah.
But now, like since like these two cases like happened, I think more people are doing like coming up forward against like what happened to them,
Mm.
which is like great and amazing.
Yes.
But also there are some like evil individuals who are trying to use like what's happening to these people just to get like fame or money or anything else.
Definitely. I mean,
Yeah.
like the individuals like those, like opportunistics,
Yeah.
they exist everywhere.
Yeah.
I mean, like in communism, there's like a whole, literature,
Communism.
a whole literature about
Opportunist.
opportunities, like
Yeah.
ones who are trying like to jump on the revolution and like to diverge it into something else.
Mm.
I mean, that exists in any wave of activism,
Yeah.
especially even in feminism. Uh, but again, w- it's always like you gotta always like remember, what if like this woman that is saying, what's happened to her is the truth, and
Mm.
like and it is true for like so many other women. But if you are just like letting them down, or like not supporting them, like it like the blow up from that thing is going to be more terrible than accusing someone and then finding out that they were innocent, which is like it's a very 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 like minority thing that happens. Like it's not that common. Because like
So
finally,
guilty until proven innocent.
yeah. Yeah,
Mm.
but there's also the problem of the content itself, like that. Sorry, the context. Yeah,
Of what happened.
It's just so difficult to prove it.
Mm. Because it's she said, he said. It's,
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then like it is only. Sometimes. Take for example, like sometimes like you are like deluded into it, like you don't know that that it happens. Sometimes you are just drunk, just blackout and all these things, and then it should have like maybe there will be like evidence in the first 24 hour or like 48 hours, but after that, but during that time you are in so much shock that you don't even know to call the police and like report and like ask for like medical tests and all that stuff. So and then you are left with just you as a victim to be believed by society that this thing happened to you, and you hope that you have like other people out there, either they have empathy like towards it, or like they have been through it, and they understand that, because they too they cannot approve it, because back in my days here like at AYS, a lot of my research work was on sexual abuse against children,
Mm.
against minors. And in my surveys, around six out of 10 people have been sexually abused as
In
children.
Iraq?
Yes, yeah. So it was, it was in AYS. So I couldn't go all over Iraq do it, but like, it was in this group of diverse students at at
the
AYS. Yeah.
Yeah.
So and then around 8 out of 10 people heard about somebody, or like a close person to them have been sexually abused as a
Yes.
minor. But like all of these people, some of them are like dear friends of mine. When it happened, and like they were like too young to even realize what is going on. Later on, even the ones who were minor, they were like too afraid to tell their parents. And there's like also if you are talking Middle East, there's also like the fear of honor killing, like oh, you got raped, you
Yes.
just got a court
Yeah.
like kill you too. So they go silent about it, or even if the family doesn't kill you, that the society will kill you in its own way, where like you are just banned basically in socially, like you are called all different names,
Mm.
and you are really looked down at, and then a lot of people accuse you that that you wanted it.
Yeah.
So there is just like, so the topic is just it
Complex.
it needs another hour, of
Yeah.
course.
Yeah.
It is very difficult.
Yeah.
And then like different cultures should be taken into perspective, and then also when it's done in Hollywood, I understand that that so much media will come with it.
Especially against like really famous people.
Yeah. I mean, like that will. I mean, like that's again, capitalism just like feeding off what it produces. I mean, like it produces, this patriarchal figures, and then it produces like you know the hero mind, like characters. They make them really big, and then like it makes a lot of money out of it, and then it makes more money when this thing falls down,
Yeah.
and then like it goes to the next one, and then builds it again, and then destroys it again. But in the process, all what is happening, like everybody just pawns, and like and like for capitalism. But again, these pawns are like these are real, like when you come back to it, like these are like real individuals who are making like terrible decisions, like just criminal decisions basically. But it's also, I'm like the way to combat this, it's not to I mean, yes, like every individual who made the crime, should be
Yeah.
persecuted for. But again, you really gotta go back to your education system, and I think about what is pornography doing to people, what is like the idea of prostitution doing to people, like how is like a kid that learns about prostitution
Yeah.
thinks about women. You think about them as if that something that you can buy through money. So this body autonomy, it is not for them only, but it's also yours if you can afford it.
Yeah.
So this makes it into more of a car rather than a human being. Or you think about them that, oh, I can afford them,
Yeah.
I can have them as an object. So like it's a long way, it's a long path to fix this whole thing.
Yeah. First of all, like I wanna like also comment on the issue with like capitalism, because like I think kind of a bit differently about the whole subject. So I think it's also like one of the prices to pay to have like outcomes oriented system. So like if because I believe in like you should get as much as you put in on the table, and like how much
Mhm.
hard work you are, and like I think people should be given the opportunity equally, so that like to see how much they can produce.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think that's presented like uh, to its like to its most extent throughout capitalism. Yeah. But I also like know like realistically some people aren't like able to produce and to create as much as others because of like all the issues and their backgrounds and everything. So there should be like some kind of a balance here. So like we would take a bit from like the advanced and like the most outcome oriented figures and like put to the ones. But like their argument would be like, why should I like for all of my hard work and for all the things that I've done be contributing to these people who have done nothing to me? But like what's the solution? So like are you just going to like proceed forward without, because like uh, it's kind of unfair that these people that weren't given the same opportunities that you were given, and like the advantages that you got throughout, like even just being able to see and like to write and to hear and to smell, and like all these senses that you have that most people take for granted, like disabled people like they don't have that. So like all of this advantage, like neglecting the fact about like your background, like the financial
Yes.
aid that you got from your
Yes.
parents or from, so like you have to put all of this into consideration. But like with capitalism, I think it's the most realistic one about how to deal with like outcomes and like how much you bring into the table, because it rewards like ideally it would objectively it would like rewards the people who would like put in the most on the table. Yeah.
Um.
What
so
do you
so
think?
so what I think is that what you're asking for is what happens in a communistic economic system,
Yeah.
where like the person that is putting in labor is
Is equal to
there
the
is
one who
no,
doesn't.
no, like the one that is given the labor
Mm.
or is just doing the labor owns the product of the labor.
Yeah.
So there is no what do you call
Private
it?
equity.
But
Yeah.
like there is no that thing, the profit, what is that? The surplus.
Mm-hmm.
So the problem is the surplus. So basically, I mean, like just going back, to the simple Marxist, example, where me and you, we are building this table. The table, it costs us, 30 $30
Yeah.
for the, I mean, like for the material, and then our labor is around $50. So that would be
80
around
bucks.
$80. Okay, thank you for the math. Just kidding. And then $80, and then if we are gonna sell this, but again, you cannot sell this.
Okay.
The boss comes over and takes the table and sells it for 150.
Yeah.
Okay, let's say 200.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, and then he gives us each, let's say $40.
Yeah.
But he stole so much money from us. Like he stole around
Yeah.
$40.
Yes,
Okay, that's only the labor itself.
Yeah.
If you are not talking about the surplus.
Yes.
So again, I mean, I don't understand how the capitalist system will do this. But then there is also the problem of us dealing with reality. I mean, I understand you saying that everybody should be equally start from an equal ground and to go up
Yeah.
as much as they can. However, the problem is, I mean, that
Is so
ground.
difficult to create.
Yeah. I'm but the ground has been, it has been
Rigged so much.
rigged,
that-
yeah, so much to a point where it is 10 to 1. I mean,
Mhm.
there is, I mean, again, the actually 0.1. The wealth, it is so much accumulated in the 1%.
Yeah.
And the rest, that who are the people that are actually doing the work, the actual labor,
Yeah.
whether it's mental or physical, they are not gaining anything from their labor.
Mm-hmm.
And also you cannot just, and there's a problem also, those, if it is not if the market is not, it's not controlled, it's not restricted in certain ways, for people not to abuse it,
Yeah.
during different times, like the inequality will happen again, and it will just recreate itself over and over again.
Yes.
But in the end, I mean, it is just so obvious that people who are doing the labor, who are doing the actual work, who are not the bosses, they are the people who are working, they cannot afford the thing that they are making. So it gets to that point. I'm sure the people who made that laptop, they cannot themselves afford it.
Yeah.
I personally, a lot of the projects that I have worked on, or things that I have produced or made,
Yeah.
I cannot personally afford it. I just put in so much labor. I made it. I made that thing.
Yeah.
But
But
then,
it's not yours.
but it's not me. It's
Yeah.
stolen from me.
But-
So yeah, I mean that's.
But here's the thing, don't you think that's necessary to appreciate the product more, to become the manager? Because okay, let's neglect the fact maybe the manager in the desks factory
Mm.
has only inherited it because his father owned the factory. So
Let's say
let's
that.
get back to the father who is
Yeah.
actually had been a worker for let's say 30-40 years
Yes.
and knows the business so much, where to get all the raw materials, how to factor all of it, how to create this thing, how to promote it and sell it
Mm.
for the best price. So since after you gather all of this, which you have should been doing throughout your years in the field, don't you think that you should be rewarded to become the manager of these people, so that they can see the benefits that you are gaining? So now you are doing less work than they do,
Mhm.
because you already worked for 30-40 years as this worker, and these under these hard circumstances, and even during your days you see the boss coming in his flexi car and
I know.
taking most of the money.
I know.
So I think that's kind of a reward that everyone who put in dedication and love into a field should get
yeah.
after a while.
I get that. I get
Yeah.
that perspective. I mean, but again, I mean, the problem is, if the manager that is now manager that was used to be a worker,
Yeah.
I mean, there's nothing wrong with being a manager. The problem is with still. I mean, if your talent is in managing companies, then
Yeah.
sure thing. But again, the problem is that his labor was stolen for the last 30
But
years
should
too.
we say like I don't know like if stolen is the right terminology to call. I mean maybe if he or she like were confiscated very low for their efforts,
Hmm.
but like if they were like paid above like the average pay or like at the average pay for a job in in the same field, like do you think that's stealing from them? I mean,
Uh,
there are some jobs that are really difficult that pay so much money, like for like dangerous construction sites or like for sewers or like these kind of stuff that require so much hard work and
of course.
dedication.
Yeah.
So the people are like paid. I, I was listening to a podcast once about like how there are like these well-paying jobs where you like get into what is it called? غواصة.
Uh,
Yeah.
Submarine.
Yeah, submarine. So you
Yeah.
would get into submarines and like you would go and like investigate the North Pole or something like this, where you would go on like couple of months into like this ice
Yes.
cold environment, and you are basically living on like cans and stuff like this. But
Yeah.
it's a really good paying job because like you are putting away all of the pleasures of life for like a couple of
Of
months just
course.
to do
Yeah.
this thing. So I don't know if it's called stealing. Like I think the problem is like uh, these low paying jobs
Mm.
exist and like they are so low paying because like they don't demand a lot of like either hard work or like intellectual work. So I don't know how to solve the issue with that. So I don't know.
I guess. I mean, personally, I think it's. I think it has a name. It's called. I don't know. I don't know the name exactly, but I think they call it untalented,
Yeah,
unskilled
yeah, worker.
work. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, something like that. That you need, like, you don't need to learn the skill, but like, I totally disagree with it.
Yeah. No, I
Uh,
totally like I get your point.
mm,
Like you have to be really proficient in your job to make like such a good desk or such a
yeah,
good computer or
yeah, yeah,
everything.
or even clean up place,
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
yeah.
exactly, yeah.
So, but again,
But
I
it's
mean,
like the level of difficulty and skills that goes into every should it be the
yes,
same? Like there
mm,
there are definitely it's much harder to like study and become like an astronaut or like
mm,
someone who does like
mm.
crazy stuff. That's why it's rewarded so much in the system. That's
That's
why there's
understood.
yeah,
I mean, like in both systems, like depending on their value
yeah.
to the society, and like how it has helped. I mean, like it is appreciated. But the thing is, like, it is not always financially, like it should be, always financially appreciated.
Mm-hmm.
So, but what I mean by that is that I don't mean that somebody who's doing like very hard work should not be rewarded for his hard work,
Yeah.
of course, since he's doing more. But for example, I mean, like a lot of people who are finding new medicines, finding new pills, it's just like just like, or like the insulin, for example, it's put out for free.
Mm.
Those formulas. I mean, like, take the insulin in America right now. I mean, like, here I think we can buy it
Yeah.
either for free or like five dinars,
Yeah,
$5, $10.
Yes, like I know about like because I have so many diabetic friends. So like
Yeah, yeah,
yeah,
yeah, exactly.
you can either get the one from like the government, they provide it for free,
Yeah.
but you have to like sign up for like 8 or
Yes.
something like this, or like there are different brands. So there is like the fancy one for like 20K or something like this,
Yeah.
and there is like the regular one with like the small glass bottle
Yeah.
and like the needle. That's the cheapest one. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I mean, you have all of that, but then in the United States,
You
I
have
mean,
to
like,
pay.
you have to pay. And
Yeah.
like, it is around, I think it's now like $200, something like that, if I'm not wrong. I think,
Mm.
but I know it's in the hundreds.
Yeah.
So this is
That's stupid.
Yeah, yeah,
You
yeah.
have this illness for a lifetime that you cannot cure, and like this is the solution for it. And it's if it's if it's worth like that much to making it, I mean, sure, but like doesn't
Yeah.
worth that much. And
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I mean, like, it only takes.
we can export, I think, from like Samara
Yeah.
pharmaceutical to the US if they want. يعني.
Yeah, I mean, like, that's the thing. I mean,
Yeah.
like, they control it in a way
Yeah.
that you cannot. Okay, but this is interesting. So just coming back to AYS,
Yeah.
I like that. I'm talking about this. So back in the days, AYS used to have, they used to bring books here from the States.
Yeah.
But they also used to sell it not with the price with the plus the taxes thing price that is in the US, which is like very expensive, but it's just like it's like a normal book outside of the like United States, so like so it was very cheap, like if the book was like $100 here, it was like extremely cheap. But these books, they were all sent here and like they were for this cheap money, cheap price, sorry. But then a lot of people and like this is a problem with neoliberalism.
Yeah.
They
have so many problems.
Yeah,
so many problems.
they were coming back here to Iraq, to Kurdistan, and they were like collecting all these books again, buying all of them, like in like big amounts.
They are reselling them,
taking them back to the United States to sell them again there, with a price a bit cheaper than the
one in the US.
Than the one in the US, the original price, the US original price.
Oh my God.
I mean, like, yeah, it's crazy. And then like there was actually a rule or a law, I don't know, that just prevented this to happen anymore. And then like from now on, everything that that books that goes out of the US that is exported, it is
they shouldn't come back to the US.
Yeah, it is with the same price that is sold in the United States. So which means that's why like in the club center,
books are
expensive. They're like very expensive. Like you cannot buy it. So like I think I only. Yeah, I think in APP they forced us to buy it, like we did. But after that, I just
I
just pirate it. I mean, it's knowledge. Like I cannot, again, I don't think like knowledge should be, that.
But
restricted.
then like if you are pirating it, like how you are like giving to the instructor who created and put in all this hard work for years.
See, the instructor.
Because like I also like.
True, I get you, and I know that the instructor, the teacher, it needs that capital benefit, to live, like that to make a living basically.
Yes.
But if this, living making, is provided by the state itself, I mean, like for example, like in Iraq, I think, also in Kurdistan, I mean, like we, to a good degree, we have it, or we kind of had it, whether it's like public health hospitals, it's like it's public hospitals basically, sorry, or it's like public education, and like just tons of other public stuff where like it was just for free, and like the most two important things is your health and your education. If the government is sponsoring those two for you, well usually the government they can do it, especially in like rich countries like this ones. It's kind of crazy to say like it is rich, when you imagine it, basically, but unfortunately. But anyways, I mean, like the government can do it, and like so if I have those things covered, for example, for me, if I had all of these debts covered by the government, just like how education should be free, then I wouldn't have to be forced, to make, this type of capital. I would just like go on and like, make something more useful for the society that I think it's more interesting for me, like that, like the value is on the human, not the money that I'm making for the boss and the boss and the boss.
I want to go back to like this point that you said about like health and like education and how their importance is like very crucial. But the thing is, like, I've heard, like, in a podcast that, it's not a podcast, it was live stream. He was talking about, like, how, like, in a couple of years ago, you would have, like, the public schools and, like, the private schools. And, like, that the private schools are, like, a bit better than, or kind of better than like public schools, but they are all studying the same curriculum. They are like, when it comes to the final like ministerial exam, both students would get the same questions. But now the issue is like with like private schools, like the thing is like the private schools are getting better preparation, and sometimes like for some schools they are even getting like their own distinct questions that are different from everyone else. So now the playground isn't as equal as it used to be. And now with like this is such a hypocritical thing to say about for AOI students, but now actually like students from private universities and private high schools are preferred on like
Very
students.
true.
Yeah,
Very true. Yeah, yeah.
from
And
like
like every
students.
company just wants to employ. Like even when I was hired in this place that I'm working now,
Yeah,
they even asked me about the high school that I went to.
yeah.
Like, why do you need the high school that I
To
went
know
to?
if you are like
Yeah,
yeah,
if I need
yeah,
to know that I've been, I don't know, like I don't want to like
yeah,
call it
yeah.
names, but like to know that I'm,
Civilized or not?
yeah, thank you, yeah, to know that I've been civilized from the
Yeah,
beginning,
yeah. Or just
got,
in the couple past
yeah,
years
yeah,
ago.
or
Yeah?
just got, or I'm new civilized, like just got civilized just right
Yeah.
now.
So like, and I know like KOIS is providing like all these scholarships to
Yes.
provide as much opportunity for as much people as
Yeah.
possible.
Yeah.
But like, even with that, like most people who can't afford or don't have the connections to get like these scholarships
Mm.
or like get into such universities, it would be so much more difficult for them
Mm.
to be equal to students
Mm.
who want to such
And then
such
and that thing
places.
will continue, just like happen over and over again.
Yeah.
But like, let me just explain. So this might be a theory, or like or maybe a fact. It's my theory, like that is based on some facts.
Yeah.
So the problem was public schools always just go in, becoming worse and worse.
Yeah.
Is that a big part of it is that um there is also, of course, the corruption that is coming from the governments. Like
Yeah.
Like it's owned by the government. The government is corrupt. They are stealing the money. They don't want to like spend it on money.
Isn't
They
that
don't
like
take
with
it.
every government?
However,
Like it's
I mean,
everywhere.
yeah. Well, but like all these governments. I mean, except for the communist one, like they did really well. with
because
the
like there are so
educations.
many communist countries
Yes,
right now.
I mean,
Yeah,
if you
so
look at
many, yeah,
yes,
yeah.
yes. I mean, if you look at the data, no. I mean, like if you go back to the Soviet Union,
Yeah.
or like Cuba or any of them. I mean,
Yeah.
like the way they worked on education, the way they made literacy available for everyone
Yeah.
is just uniquely, it's crazy. Like like it's just unimaginable. I mean, like you still don't have that in the United States. But anyways, that's not the point. Is it goes a bit further than the USSR. I go back to the colonials, the
Yeah.
colonial era. So I mean, like these schools, or like let's say talking about Iraq and Kurdistan, for example.
Okay.
I mean, we had the religious schools,
Yeah.
like the small religious schools in mosque that that they would teach you about the religion. Back in the days, it was better. It would teach you, about physics, chemistry, philosophy, astronomy, all this kind of stuff. However, like by the end of the Ottoman era, this thing they just got reduced to basically just religious scholarship. That was
Yeah.
it. However, with the invasion of the European powers to to the Middle East,
Yeah.
what happened was that they came here and then they needed people to speak their language, to write in their language, and like people to do like the government work that is needed for the colonial power to
Yeah.
run,
To shift
run
their
the area.
systems to this
Exactly.
new area.
Yeah. So they brought in the school system. Basically, they brought the school system in. And they they changed all of these religious schools, they kind of closed them down, or
It's
like
because you can also see it like by how much advanced Arabs were, like in
Yeah.
physics and in
Yeah.
astronomy and everything.
Exactly.
But no, it got escalated so quickly. Like
yeah,
after.
because it was neglected.
Yeah.
It was, the schools, those schools got neglected, and then it just like the country, you lost the country, you lost the civilization, let's say,
Yes.
that once this region had it. But the problem is with the colonial powers, the people that, or the system that they brought was based on loyalty,
Mm.
not merit. So it was not how
So it's
talent.
not a meritocracy anymore.
No. Yeah. So it was loyalty. I mean, like how loyal you are to the ideas of the empire.
Mm.
How loyal you are to your general. How loyal you are to your country. How loyal you are to all of these things. So they did not care much about how skilled you are, but rather if you're gonna betray them later or not after giving you this knowledge.
Mm.
After turning you into a government person. So, and with the revolution and everything, afterwards, like with the liberation, the national liberations of these regions,
Yeah.
the colonial power were kicked out, but because we were left with a nation state system and the government system that we never had before, the style of government system, we just had no other like the style of doing it, but their own style, like the colonial powers, which is like based on loyalty to the empire.
Yeah.
So you had all of these classes, whether it was in the communist era, where like Abdul Karim Qasim, I believe, and then like when it was Saddam Hussein, and then afterwards like in Kurdistan when it was PUK and PDK, controlling the region. They all followed the system that came before them, like, so it was not true revolutions.
Closer to them.
Yeah. So it was not a true revolutions, but it was rather than just like a change of systems. But what was important in all of them was their focus on education, on schools themselves. So each school was made in a way that was
our ideas are correct and their ideas are wrong.
Only one idea. So there's one Turkish minister like back in the Ataturk era that says two different schools will create two different people. So we don't want that. We want like one people for one nation, for one country, and that's it. So what is interesting is that like, so right now you end up with like with these schools that are just like part of the government. Like the schools are not
they are echo chambers for the politicians.
Exactly. So they are not educationally independent. They are they have like some sort of propaganda inside of them. They have a system that is putting you on a train.
And this is actually my biggest problem with like the leftist ideology right now. It's like their obsession with like making schools just following their beliefs and everything, and how they are trying, like the extreme ones basically, they are trying to silence the ones who do not follow their
fascists. I mean, like the leftists, they want like I don't think like leftists. That's what the leftists want. I mean, like I understand
the golden age of leftism, like the 70s and 80s, they want like the civil rights movement and everything, where they were demanding for like some important stuff. But like nowadays, I think it's just like it's going into some weird like if you don't think the same way as us, like we are going to cancel you. Like instructors are afraid to speak their minds, just to not get kicked out like from schools and universities. And this is like we talked about this like before. This is only in the US. So like this is what I'm concerned about like the rise of leftism here in Iraq. Like I know we are like decades.
Is it rising?
I think, yeah. Like, have you been to a US? Have you hung out with the US students?
I mean, I hope it is rising, but like, I don't think so.
I think the balance is important. Like, I think, like, once you exit from this, like, city and you go deeper in the south, you wouldn't see anything. Like, you would only
I understand.
I
understand.
The balance is important. That, like, the balance and the competition would, like, help each. Well, I mean, you don't have to be like either, but like for the people who are toward it, like they are oriented either like left or right, they would try to improve themselves, thereby improve their like people, and like thereby improving the whole country, even though like it's the ones who are sitting opposing to them. Like it's not me against you, it's like me against myself and you against yourself. So we would improve everything and we could like
yes,
that's ideally how it goes. But now like the issue is like each party is trying to like demolish the other one, and like because like I've heard about this a lot, and like when you get a Republican as a president, then the president who comes after him as a Democrat, they would try to destroy even the good things that they have done, because like if they accomplish them and continue with them, it would like give credit to the old president or the previous one.
Yes, I guess.
So they are basically just fighting among each other, and at the end it would like destroy the whole country. So that's like the issue, I think, in the US. Yeah. But the thing is with education, because we talked about the importance of how to spread ideas at universities.
Yeah.
The best way is to provide the most variety in subjects, and like without it, I mean, no one is completely unbiased. We all have like our like towards we're oriented towards something, beliefs or something like this. But I think like the best option is to have like an interesting diversity of like different thought processes, so that every student and every person is exposed to everything.
Yes.
And like they can decide on what they want to be or what they want to think. But like trying to silence the other part or trying to kick out professors from universities
Mhm.
for having different way of thinking. I think that's like really stupid.
I get you.
Yeah.
Look, I don't think like okay, let's say leftism. Even though like leftism is a broad term right now. I mean, like yeah, in Middle East, it's
Yes, yes, yes.
still
It's a new thing.
It's still and even in Middle East is old, but
Yeah,
like
but
you know
it's
we
not-
had an understanding. You know,
Yeah.
like if somebody was a Asadi, like you would know what they are.
Mm.
Now in the West, it has become more broad. I mean, like some people they would consider the Democrats as leftists, right?
Yeah.
Which is just freaking crazy. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, definitely not. But anyway, so I mean, like I don't think teaching people that that human values is important is dangerous. I don't think telling people that that public health is essential, is your right, is dangerous. I don't think
No, that's
having
completely
education.
that's
Yeah.
logically,
And like if the pronoun thing is the elephant in the room, like I don't think even if that's the problem, like just like telling
Yeah.
people, which I
is
don't
it
think
the elephant in the room?
I think it is the elephant in the room. Yeah. I don't see anyone else.
You don't see any elephant.
No,
Only
that's
this.
that's the one.
Yeah.
I mean, just telling people, like to just address people the way they would like to address
Yeah.
to be addressed. It's also like it's just some sort of respect. But again, like this is not something that I as a brown leftist
Mm.
concerned about.
Yeah.
Because my
There are
my
like bigger
struggle-
issues to focus on.
My struggle is that like women here that are still they're having like honor killings like every single day.
Yeah.
So like when you have that in mind, like you really cannot. Well, I mean, like
I mean, not that aggressively, but like yeah.
but like
Let's,
like you don't
let's
have.
talk about it later.
Yeah, I mean, like it is
Let's
not.
solve this bigger issue first. Then.
Yeah, it's not risk in your life.
Yeah.
Like it is the other things.
Mm.
I mean, like for my your
I mean,
battery might die
that's
by
what
the
I'm-
way.
What?
You're the battery right
Oh,
there.
okay.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can
That's
hear
good.
you
Perfect.
loud and clear. Yeah.
Good.
So we were talking about like education and
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, and like maybe just going back to it, like to the education system itself.
yeah.
I'm like for me, I see it as a right wing agenda when they want to create only one person, a person that does not question themselves, they
Mm.
not question their leaders, they not question their society. I think like all these things should be questioned.
Yeah.
But as nationalism, this type of patriotic nationalism is rooted in the ideology of patriarchal right wingers. I think like this is where this thing is coming from. I mean, like again, the all the colonial powers were also considered just fascist right wingers. But anyways, I think that is. I mean, like it is so unfortunate that even whether it is leftist or right winger,
Yeah.
it would be unfortunate
Yeah.
that even if the leftists cannot come up with a system that is not that is persecuting people
Yeah.
on ideas. However, like if the idea is like Mein Kampf or like like Hitler stuff, so like
Okay.
yeah, I don't
Yeah.
like because honestly, if you give space for fascists to organize, it's
Mm.
gonna be dangerous. But here's the problem. The problem is like how much where do we draw the line? I mean, like some stuff are very obvious, but some other stuff that are just not as obvious.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, there are people, maybe some clergymen that are, that are promoting the beheading of atheists.
Yeah.
Like I'm not so sure if this person, if this ideology should be, promoted, or should be, part of, freedom of speech. But again, these decisions are just like very, very complicated. I mean, I personally haven't, come into conclusion to it, because in the end you say, oh, this is only words. But the problem is these words so easily turn into organizing, and that organization, let's say, turns into actions.
Mm.
So where do we draw the line? Not on freedom of speech to protect from violence, protect ourselves from violence is complicated. but I know like pronouns would not make that much of a problem.
So you
Uh,
don't think that it's like maybe like a domino effect that would start with like
yeah, I mean that's
controlling
what I'm trying to
yeah,
prevent.
yeah.
That
The
would be my
controlling
exactly.
language, then controlling
Mm.
ideas, then only one way of thinking.
Mm.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
which is
what I'm worried about.
yeah.
Yeah.
You
As
should
much
be,
as I am
as I
worried
should
about
be
like
too.
how like religious institutions are trying to enforce
I
their
get you.
ideas into like
I get you.
5 and 6 years old.
Yeah.
Do you get me?
Yeah, I totally get you.
Yeah.
I totally get you. I mean, again, but I do think little children like should be taught about the evils of the world.
Mhm.
I think they also should be taught about their rights. I mean, like so going back to the
Their
beginning.
history as well.
Yeah,
Yeah.
history exactly. Yeah. Thanks for that. Yeah, the history is very important. What happened? Why are you in such conditions? I mean, like I'm happy that the students at University of Slimani right now are protesting for their rights as the stipends, the
Yeah.
monthly stipends, which is I know it's crazy because a while back there was this investigative journalist who investigated basically the wealth of some of the politicians. Like,
Yeah.
if I'm going too dangerous, like let me know. But anyways,
Yeah,
like
a politician and like
yeah,
a
yeah, like
researcher. That always goes well. Yeah.
yeah, so
Yeah.
they investigated them and they realized they have bought mansions in like Beverly Hills, Miami,
Yeah, I
and
know.
all
Yeah.
that stuff.
I heard
Yeah.
the stories. Yeah.
And the money of this mansion, the price, it was
The millions,
it was
the
in
hundred of
millions.
millions
Yeah,
of
yeah.
dollars.
And it could have paid the monthly stipends of the students
for 100
for 3 years.
3 years,
All the students, you have around like 50,000-60,000 students
and in the region.
in the region. Yeah,
Mm.
in the region. Yeah, I don't know about Iraq
Yeah,
itself, but
in the
yeah,
region.
in the Kurdistan region, you have that much.
For 3 years, huh?
For 3 years, one mansion, only one house. I mean, and the inequality is just
Yeah.
crazy, and these people, the way they have monopolized,
Monopolized. Yeah.
monopolized on the whole thing, and the way they are just stealing everything. I mean, I can just only imagine if it was equally distributed, if this money was invested back in the
I don't think it could be ever equally distributed, but I think we can like find a way to equal the playground a little bit more.
I mean, let's say the easiest stuff. I mean, you see a private school and
Yeah.
you see they are doing well because
Yeah.
the private school they don't care about your loyalty. They care about
How much money you can.
yeah, exactly. And they know that you are broke, that you are that you're gonna work really hard for them.
Yeah.
So and there is a competition, of course. So they really force you to do that. But
Yeah.
the other guys, I mean, there can be great teachers in public schools, of course, but the system itself does not let them shine. Like the system itself just wants them to be broken down into the shape that everybody else is. And it is unfortunate, but at the same time it is not so hard to fix the public schools if the problem is finance. It's definitely not finance. Like the
Mhm.
problem is ideology itself. The problem is that they don't want critical thinking majorities. I mean, that's the most dangerous thing. A government would create for itself. It's a corrupt government,
Yeah.
let's say, which is the same thing. That's why, I mean, they love to see universities shutting down. They love to see teachers boycotting because for not receiving their salaries for years. I mean, they see that and they laugh. And I know they laugh because they are that's great. More illiterate people, more people who are
Who would
not,
just follow the system without questioning it.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, they are not, they are not being educated enough. Even if they are getting the education, it's still the education that's
It's that
provided
they wanted to-
by the big brother, right?
Yeah.
That makes you
Big
not
brother, yeah.
question
Yeah.
him.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Look, man, this is the longest episode I done.
I'm sorry.
And no. This is there's a reason this episode got so long.
Yeah.
Man, I love talking to you.
Thank you. I
And
love talking to you too.
thank you for being here. Even though that we might disagree on some stuff,
Yeah.
but
But
this is
podcast.
yeah.
The education should learn from this.
Exactly.
Let's go.
Bring
School learn.
people
Yes.
who are different.
Let them debate.
let
and
them debate.
yeah.
Let them enjoy.
That's it.
Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for having this at AUIS.
Yeah.
Actually, not AUIS, but like it's having this in the whole city. Actually, like
Yeah.
I love what you're doing, and
Yes.
like all the other episodes too. They're amazing stuff, amazing guests.
Thank you.
You're an amazing host. So yeah, like
Over my head. على راسي.
Thank you.
Keep doing what you're doing. Like
You too.
the amazing work. Yeah. It's all
Thank you.
highly appreciated.
Thank you.
And
Thank you.
for our lovely listeners, thanks
Yes,
for
the
like
camera.
tagging along for 2 hours and 50
And
minutes.
14 minutes.
Yeah, 50 minutes.
Okay.
Yeah, 2 hours 15 minutes. Yeah. Have a good day and like see you in the next one.